Welcome students. In last period we have seen inheritance. Now we are going to start the last article of the C++, that is file handling. File handling. File handling. So see the title, file handling. What is file handling? We know that we write a program like this in C++, while then suppose cout in quotation enter number, say integer n, c greater than n. Now when this program is executed, what will happen? Due to the variable declaration, memory division, due to the cout statement, message will appear enter. Due to the cin statement, a blinking cursor will appear. Blinking cursor indicate that you are ordered to enter the number, say 8. Now suppose you write the cout n will be 8 will be displayed. So this is the cin and cout statements. This is the cin and cout statement by which we can input to the program, we can get the output from program. That is, in short, whenever program executes, this is the program in which there is a cin statement, there is a cout statement. This is the C++ program. So whenever program executes, due to the cin statement, we can input the data to the program, and due to the cout statement, process the data will be outputted on monitor. So who will provide the data? That is keyboard. And where the output will display, it will display on monitor. Now whenever cin statement is executed, this stream will be established. This is called as input stream. And not only input stream will be established, but keyboard will be connected. Similarly, due to the cout statement, a stream will be established. This stream is called as output stream. This is input stream. So due to the execution of cin statement, input stream is established. Not only input stream is established, but also keyboard is connected. Similarly, due to the cout statement, output stream will be established. Not only output stream will be established, but the monitor is connected. So there is no other choice for us that we can replace a keyboard by any other input device, or at output stream, monitor is by default connected. So no doubt our computer system is having lot of input and output peripherals. Among the input, there is not only keyboard, but also various other devices are there, like mouse is there, joystick is there, etc. In output devices, not only monitor is there, printer is there, plotter is there, number of output devices are there. So why cin statement only uses keyboard, that is by default input device, or why at the output stream there is a by default monitor, that is screen, because these two devices are called as console, and these are by default console. Keyboard is console, output is device, that is also a console. It means that whenever we write a program, at that time the statement is given, write a program to read the number and print it square. Example, write a program to read the number and print it square. So it is expected. What is expected? That number will be read from keyboard. Also it is expected that square will be printed on screen. So it is by default that input is given by keyboard input device and output is displayed on screen or monitor. So these two devices, that is keyboard and monitor, are called as default input output device, that is also called as console. So keyboard is also called as console input and monitor is called as console output. So who is console input? Keyboard. Who is console output? Monitor. Thus the statement C in, console in. So read from console input device, that is keyboard. Because keyboard is by default input device, it is not necessary to say that write a program in C++ to read the data from keyboard, print the square on screen. So keyboard, monitor, these two devices are by default input and output devices respectively. C out, console out, and who is console output device? That is by default monitor. That's why whenever we use the C in and C out statement, input output stream is established and console input device keyboard and console output device monitor is connected. Now, one more thing that we have to study. What is C in and C out statement? What is the C in and C out? So recently we have seen C in stand for console in, that is read from console, and who is console input device? By default keyboard. So as C in statement is there, it is obvious that data will be taken from console input device, that is keyboard, and as the C out statement is executed, it is expected that data will be displayed on screen. C in, C out, and that's why in 11th standard, in early periods, early lectures of the C++, we have seen C in and C out are the input and output statement. No doubt, these are the input and output statements. But fact is that actually C in and C out are the objects. Surprising. So you can ask the question, if C in and C out are the objects, why didn't we learn in 11th standard only? Reason, at that time we were not knowing what is in that class. We have started the class in 12th standard, object oriented. So if class is there, then you can understand what is in by object. And if we don't know what is in by class, we can't consider the object. That's why for time being we have seen C in and C out of the objects. Now you will ask one more question. Okay, it is considered that C in and C out are the objects. Then to which class it belongs? To which class these two objects belongs? These two objects belongs to class IO stream. Class IO stream. Again you will ask the question, if this class IO stream is there, we never define this class. C in and C out are the objects, they belong to class IO stream. Then where this class is defined, who defined this class? This class is already defined and available in header file, class iostream is defined in header file iostream.h, and hence we need not to define the class iostream. Class iostream is already defined in iostream.h. That's why simply we write hash include iostream.h. What it means? iostream.h we have to include because that iostream.h is having class iostream whose objects are seen and cout. Tell you what? So whenever a program execute, we can provide the data to the program, and after processing by the program, data is outputted. So data is provided through the stream, that is called as input stream. Data is provided through the output, that is output stream. Keyboard is connected, monitor is connected. That's why seen and cout statements are there. So the purpose of iostream class is to establish a stream, and the console input device keyboard is connected. Establish the output stream, connect the output console output device, that is input output stream. Establishing the input output stream, that is the job of class iostream. Its object seen and cout is used upon that purpose. Now input stream is established, output stream is established when iostream class is used, or seen and cout objects are used. Seen, cout, these objects, these two objects establishes input stream, establishes output stream, and these two objects belongs to class iostream, which is already defined in header file iostream.h. That's why we write hash include iostream.h. Now suppose a huge amount of data is there, bulk amount of data is there. Say there are 1000 students and their date of birth is available, and we have to write a such program. By using that date of birth, we have to calculate current age of every student. So 1000 student names and their date of birth are there. It will have to input through the console input device. It will take a lot of time. Instead of that, suppose the name 1000 names, their date of birth, suppose made available in a file. It is available in pen drive or disk, CD, compact disk. So on the disk the data is stored, and where the data is stored, that is called as file. So instead of inputting 1000 student names, their date of birth, make the available that data into the file which is available on the disk, and instead of connecting console input device, connect the file and process, and after that we are going to save the data into the file. Our data will be displayed on screen. It is not necessary that if file input is there, there must be the file output. It may be possible that file input is there, console output will be there. The console input will be there, file output will be there. Now this stream is called as input stream, but not console input. Rather, it is a file input. Similarly, this is also output stream, but not console output stream, rather file output stream. So whenever we want to read the data from file, or when data is to be supplied to the program from file instead of console, instead of CN, write down FIN. Whenever processed data is sent to the file instead of console output device. This is the output stream, but file output stream. Now you can again ask the question, if due to the Cin console input stream is established, due to the Cout console output stream is established, Cin and Cout are the object belongs to class IO stream, then Fin and Fout object belongs to which class? Because Cin and Cout were the objects, belongs to class IO stream, where that class was in IO stream.h. Similarly, to establish the file input, file output, there is class F stream. But we have to create the object, unlike Cin and Cout. Cin and Cout are objects, belongs to class IO stream. Then you can ask the question, why we can't create the object? Whenever we define a class, we create the object. Then Cin and Cout are not created by us. It is already by default, because input device keyboard is by default console input device. In advanced C++, it is possible that to change the consoles. Instead of keyboard, you can have mouse. You can instead of monitor, you can have printer. It is possible, but in advance that we can change the console. But by default console input is keyboard. By default console output monitor. Default console input device, default console output device. That's why Cin and Cout are by default. But Fin and Fout we have to create. IF stream Fin. Fin is the object, belongs to class IF stream. Fin dot open, it means open is Fin dot open in bracket data dot txt. OF stream Fout. Fout is the object. Fout dot open d.txt. Now IF stream Fin, as soon as object Fin is created of IF stream, input file stream is created. Fin dot open, a file is connected, that data.txt. OF stream Fout, output stream is established. Fout dot open, file is connected. So this is data.txt and this is d.txt. Now input and output can be taken place, data can be processed. But at last you have to close it. Fin dot close, Fout dot close. So it will disconnect the files, because connecting the file as well as closing the file is important. So we can establish input stream, we can connect file to it, we can establish output stream, we can connect file to it, we can read from the file, process data can be sent on file. That is called as file handling. So class F stream, class IO stream. These classes are called as IO system of C++. IO system of C++. So what is file handling? We have seen. We can connect file to the program. We can connect file. We can connect the file to the program and input from file. We can connect file to the program and we can display. We can store into the file. That is called as a file handling. And for it we require fstream.h, because Fin and Fout objects where belongs to class Fstream, IFstream, OFstream, input file stream, output file stream, and class IO stream for establishing console input. That is called as IO system of C++. IO system of C++. So our next lecture will be IO system of C++. Today just we have seen what is by file handling, what are their classes and so on. So next is IO system of C++. Thank you.